Okay, so have you ever, been browsing online late at night and had that moment where your eyes are just like, whoa, okay, that's way too bright. I can't deal with this.
Yeah, totally. That screen glare, especially in a dark room, it's not just annoying.
Right. It's like your screen is waging war on your eyeballs.
It can actually lead to some serious eye strain, headaches, all that fun stuff. It's like a downside of being constantly connected, I guess.
Well, on that note, today we're going to do a deep dive into something that claims to be the solution, this WordPress plugin called DarkMySite.
Sounds pretty self-explanatory, huh?
Yeah, basically promises to make your website dark mode friendly. And get this, it says you can do it with just one click.
One click. That's a pretty bold claim.
Yeah.
So I guess our mission here is to figure out if DarkMySite actually lives up to the hype.
Exactly. We're going to look at the features, see what users are saying, really get into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, so their big thing is, quote, one click to paint your website into an eye-pleasing dark mode. Sounds almost too good to be true, right?
It does, yeah.
So how does that even work? What's happening behind the scenes with that one click?
Well, what's interesting is they talk about using, quote, advanced technology to understand your website structure.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's not just a simple color swap.
Right.
It sounds like it's actually analyzing your site, like the text, the background, images, everything.
Oh, I see.
Figuring out how to apply the dark mode
Mm-hmm.
in a way that actually makes sense visually.
So it's like it understands the blueprint of your site before it starts redecorating, basically.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
Now, it's not just about what visitors to your website see, right?
Yeah, definitely not.
Because they also mention that DarkMySite does the WordPress admin panel in dark mode as well.
Right, so if you're spending hours working on your website in the back end, you can have that same dark mode experience, which for a lot of people can be a game changer.
Huge for eye strain, especially if you're working late at night.
Absolutely.
So let's jump into some of the specific features that caught our eye. One that stood out to me was the OS-aware dark mode. What is that all about?
Oh, this one's pretty cool. So let's say someone's computer, like their Windows or their Mac or even their phone, is already set to dark mode. DarkMySite can actually pick up on that and automatically switch your website to dark mode for them.
Wait, really?
Yeah, so the user doesn't even have to do anything. It's just seamless.
So smooth. That's so smart, honestly. It anticipates what the user wants.
Exactly. It's all about that personalized experience, catering to what people are already used to.
Love it. And then there's time-based dark mode. This one
Yeah.
seems perfect for, when the sun starts setting and you want things to just shift automatically.
Yeah, with this one, you can basically set it up so that DarkMySite will activate the dark mode based on the user's local time.
Makes sense.
So as it gets darker outside, boom, your website gets darker too. No manual switching needed.
That's so convenient. All right, now for the design nerds out there, can you even customize the look of that dark mode switch?
Oh, definitely. They've got this feature called customizable switch.
Okay, so
So you can adjust the colors, the style of the toggle, basically make it fit in perfectly with the rest of your website's design.
gotcha. So you're not stuck with just one generic look.
No, you have some flexibility there.
And speaking of looks, what about the overall dark mode color scheme? Are there options, or is it just one standard dark theme?
So they've got a bunch of different color presets you can choose from, which are pre-designed dark color palettes.
Okay.
But the cool thing is you can actually create your own custom presets as well.
Oh, nice.
So if you're really specific about your branding and you want the dark mode to reflect that perfectly, you have that option.
Okay, good to know. Now, with any WordPress plugin, I feel like the big question is always, is it going to break my site?
Yeah, compatibility can be a huge concern.
Exactly. But DarkMySite claims it works perfectly with all page builders.
Bold claim.
And that it even delivers accelerated performance.
Okay, now that's intriguing.
What's the deal with that? Can we actually trust those claims?
I mean, while perfectly might be pushing it, the feedback we've seen from users does seem to be pretty positive overall.
Okay.
So it does seem like they've put a lot of effort into making sure it's compatible with different setups.
Right.
The idea is,
All right, so beyond just the basic dark mode functionality, they also talk about some additional features like powerful features. What are those?
yeah, they've got some cool extras. One is this floating dark mode switch.
Okay.
So instead of being fixed in one spot, you can actually make it move with the user as they scroll.
That's cool. So it's always easily accessible.
Exactly. Super convenient. You can also put the switch right in your website's menu if you want.
Oh, that's smart. Makes it really easy to find.
Yeah. Then they've got this option to disable dark mode on specific parts of a web page.
Oh, why would you want to do that?
Well, let's say you have like a bright logo or maybe a video that just doesn't look right in dark mode. You can basically tell DarkMySite to skip those sections.
Oh, I see. So you have that granular control. That's pretty useful.
Yeah, and they even let you replace specific images or videos when dark mode is active.
Oh, really?
So for instance, you could have a lighter version of your logo for light mode and then a slightly darker version that shows up in dark mode.
Wow, that's attention to detail.
It is pretty impressive.
And for anyone who's like really into web development, do they offer any advanced customization options?
They do. They actually support custom CSS. So if you're familiar with that, you can really fine-tune the look of your dark mode, get super specific.
So basically, for the people who know how to code, they can get really hands-on with it.
Exactly.
Now, who would you say DarkMySite is ideal for?
Yeah.
They mentioned bloggers, developers, small businesses. Does that seem accurate?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good target audience.
Okay.
All those groups could benefit from making their websites more user-friendly,
Hmm.
especially for people who are browsing at night or just prefer darker themes.
Mm-hmm.
Bloggers want their articles to be easy to read. Developers often work in low-light settings. And for small businesses, it's all about making that website as appealing and accessible as possible, you know?
Right. It's like that extra touch that shows you care about the user experience.
Definitely.
And how does it integrate with other WordPress stuff like WooCommerce or just WordPress in general?
They say it's seamlessly integrated with both, including WordPress multi-site for people managing multiple sites.
Okay.
So it sounds like it should play nicely with a typical WordPress setup.
No conflicts, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
All right, let's talk money. It looks like there's a special deal happening right now.
Yeah, it's a lifetime deal, which is pretty cool. You pay once and you have access forever.
Much better than a monthly subscription, in my opinion.
Right.
And they're saying it's like 87% off.
Whoa, that's huge.
So what are the specific plans they offer under this deal?
So you've got two main options. One is the one code plan, which is $9 unless you use it on up to 10 websites.
Okay,
That's basically their professional plan.
gotcha.
Then there's the two codes plan for $18, and that covers up to 100 websites,
Wow, okay.
which is their agency plan.
So you double the price and you get 10 times the sites.
Exactly. Pretty good value if you manage a lot of websites.
Definitely. And just to be clear, what exactly comes with those lifetime deals?
So you get lifetime access to the plugin, of course, plus all future updates for the professional plan. And you get lifetime priority support, which is nice.
Nice.
They also mentioned that you can stack up to 2 codes.
Stack codes.
Yeah, so like if you need to cover even more than 100 websites, you can buy 2 codes and essentially get the agency plan's full coverage.
Oh, okay. So there is a way to go beyond 100 if you absolutely need to.
Exactly.
Now, for anyone who's still not convinced, is there a way to try before you buy?
Yeah, they offer a 60-day money-back guarantee.
Nice.
So you can basically install it, play around with it, and if you're not happy, you can get a full refund.
Sweet. No risk involved.
Pretty much.
Okay, so we've talked about what it does, how much it costs, but what are people actually saying about DarkMySite?
Right. Let's get into the real-world feedback.
Because it looks like it has a really high average rating.
It does, yeah.
Like 4.86 stars out of 5.
Yeah, with 44 reviews, so that's a pretty decent sample size.
Okay, so people seem to generally be happy with it.
Nope, seems that way, yeah.
Now, we don't have every single review, but we did find some interesting user questions and the developers' responses.
Oh, yeah, those were always helpful.
Let's take a look at those. So someone asked about whether they offer an unlimited sites plan.
Ah, yeah, understandable question.
What did they say?
Well, the developer basically said, thanks for the suggestion, but they don't have any plans for an unlimited option right now.
So for now, 100 sites is the max.
Looks like it.
Okay. Another user had a problem with the menu switch not showing up, and they were using Oxygen Builder.
Yeah, those specific setup issues can be tricky.
So how did the developers handle that?
Oh, they were great. They responded really quickly, apologized for the issue, and they even gave the user a direct link to their support team and offered to help personally.
Wow, that's awesome.
Always reassuring to see a developer who's so responsive.
Absolutely.
They actually offered to help personally.
Nice. Okay, someone else asked about Shopify compatibility.
Ah, yeah, Shopify is a whole different platform.
Right. So what did they say about that?
The developer clarified that DarkMySite is specifically made for WordPress and that, no, it doesn't currently work with Shopify. But they did say that Shopify integration is something they might consider in the future.
Okay, interesting. So not a definite no, but not a yes yet either.
Exactly.
Then there was this question about using the plugin to like reverse existing dark mode pages back to light mode.
Wait, what? How would that even work?
Yeah, I was confused too. But basically, the user was asking if they could use DarkMySite to undo a dark mode that was already applied by something else.
Oh, I see.
And what did the developers recommend?
So they suggested using the color preset feature. So the user could create or choose a light color preset that matches their original website design and then just switch to that when needed.
Oh, so not a direct reverse function, but a workaround.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense. And lastly, someone asked about upgrading from the professional to the agency plan after they'd already bought the deal.
Yeah, that can be a bit of a process sometimes.
So what did they say?
The developer basically said, hey, you got to contact AppSumo directly for upgrades because that's where the deal was purchased.
Right, makes sense. AppSumo handles all that.
Exactly.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here. What would you say are the biggest takeaways, the key benefits of using DarkMySite?
I'd say the main things are it's easy to use. One click and you're pretty much done. There's a ton of customization so you can get the look just right. And it seems to be compatible with most WordPress setups, which is huge.
Definitely.
And at the end of the day, it can really improve the experience for people visiting your website, especially those who are sensitive to bright screens.
And let's not forget that lifetime deal.
Oh yeah, that's a big plus.
Pay once, use it forever, plus that 60-day money-back guarantee.
It's hard to argue with that.
So for anyone out there listening who has a WordPress website, I think it's worth thinking about how dark mode could make your site better.
Right. If you have visitors who browse late at night or just prefer a darker look, this could be a great way to make their experience more enjoyable.
And it might even help them sleep better.
Haha. Yeah, who knows?
Well, thanks for diving deep into DarkMySite with me. I hope this was helpful.
Definitely was a fun one.
Make sure you check out the link in the description if you want to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for more deep dives just like this one.
See you in the next one.
See you later.